They say the flood was God's punishment for human corruption. But what if I told you there was another war before the rain ever fell? A war so violent, so heartbreaking that heaven itself wept in silence. In the distance, massive silhouettes began to move the Nephilim. The giants, born of angels and humans. Powerful, angry, and desperate. They've sworn one thing. The ark will never float. But as they march, a being radiant, solemn, and burning with sorrow descends from the heavens. This is the story of the angel who stood between Goddess' promise and the fury of his fallen children. The children of the Watchers before the world drowned in water. It drowned in violence. The world God called good had been corrupted by the Nephilim, the giants. They were the children of the Watchers' angels, who had descended out of desire, not duty, falling in love with the daughters of men. What was born from that union was power no human heart could bear. These giants, 10, 12, even 15 feet tall, ruled with terror. As the Book of Enoch whispers, their hunger knew no end. They devoured beasts, birds, and eventually, the very people who once praised them. For centuries, the faithful angels grieved. They remembered the day their brothers descended in shadow, breaking the boundary between heaven and earth. And yet, God waited, because mercy always comes before wrath. The oath of destruction, Noah, the last righteous man, built the ark for 100 years. Every strike of the hammer was a sermon, but the world, especially the Nephilim, only laughed. But as the clouds grew darker than ever before, laughter faded into fear. They saw the ark not as a boat, but as a coffin for their kind. Beneath Mount Hermon, the giants gathered and swore a dark oath. If this ark floats, we die, but if we destroy it, we live. They vowed to destroy the ark and kill Noah before the first drop of rain touched the ground. This was a war between heaven's patience and earth's pride, the desolate mission far above, beyond the veil. One angel stood before the throne. He was old, solemn, and burdened. He had known the Watchers. He had wept when they fell. God spoke, his voice heavy with pain. "Go, protect my servant. Let no hand touch the ark. You will not destroy the giants, only delay them. Mercy must come before judgment." He went alone. No army, no chariot. His descent split the heavens. Light poured through the clouds. Noah looked up from his work and fell to his knees, for he saw a being of immense glory stepping down. It was a guardian for what was coming. The clash of authority, the giants marched a storm of living mountains. Their eyes glowed like molten gold. Then, silence. A single figure stood before them, radiant, still, unflinching. The angel's wings stretched wide enough to shadow the valley. He looked upon the Nephilim, the children of his fallen brothers, and whispered, "How far you've fallen." The eldest giant roared, "Why protect the worms? Why fight your own blood?" The angel's gaze was steady, his voice calm as thunder before the storm. Because mercy still lives, and heaven has not forgotten love. The giant tore a tree from the ground and swung it like a weapon. The angel caught it mid-swing, light exploding from his form. The battle began, a clash between corruption and holiness. The angel stood alone, yet he was not alone. His fight was not for triumph, but for restraint. He had to ensure the ark, and the promise within it, would not be touched. Victory and restraint, the giants fought with all their fury, but the ark stood untouched. Their wrath was unmatched, yet they could not overcome the will of God. The storm gathered behind the angel like a wall of divine fire. His task was complete. The ark still stood, and heaven's covenant was unbroken. Then came the rain. The first drop fell like a tear upon the dust, and the angel knew the war had ended, not with victory, but with silence. He watched the waters consume the world, realizing the flood was not vengeance. It was mourning. It was an act of cleansing, a reset, but to watch it unfold was unbearable. The angel felt the grief of the Creator. The flood was heaven's tears made visible. The weight of obedience for 40 days and 40 nights. The storm did not stop, and the angel remained stationed, a silent guardian. He realized that obedience was not about power. It was about bearing the weight of what must be lost in order for the promise to survive. He watched the ark rise, lifted not by the waves, but by grace, as he ascended through the fading storm. His heart carried the echo of what he had witnessed, the cries of the lost, the silence that followed, the high price of salvation. He returned to heaven, not as a swift soldier, but as one burdened, thoughtful, and changed. The unseen war continues, even as peace settled in heaven. A shadow lingered on earth. The bodies of the Nephilim had drowned, but their spirits remained half-human, half-divine, condemned to wander the earth. The Book of Enoch suggests these spirits became the first evil spirits, or demons, weightless and unseen, destined to haunt humanity. The angel understood that victory was not destruction, it was containment. God allowed darkness to remain, not because he was weak, but because he was patient, because light must prove itself against shadow, or it will never shine at all. The guardian's vow in his grief, the angel made a vow. If the giants left behind their curse, then heaven would leave behind its guardian. He would watch over mankind, standing unseen, guarding the descendants of those Noah saved. His mission never ended, for the story of the flood did not end with water. It continued in the unseen, in spirits that wandered and angels that watched. That is the haunting truth of the ark. Even in salvation, there are echoes of rebellion, and even in peace, heaven still stands guard. If this untold story stirred your spirit, if you recognize the cost of salvation, do not let this truth pass by. 1. Like this video right now, to honor the angel's sacrifice. 2. Subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss any of our deep dives here on Bible Mysteries. 3. Share this with every believer who needs to know that God fought a war to save them.